The sun was dipping low across the vast grasslands when Elias Mwangi raised his binoculars. Every day before a safari tour, he scouted the route for dangers: lions, leopards, or hyenas lurking near the paths. But this evening, he froze. Through the lenses, a lion knelt strangely, lifting one paw into the air. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a roar. It looked eerily like a plea. Elias blinked hard, lowering the binoculars. The great lion held its posture, golden eyes locked in quiet desperation. Years of guiding tourists had taught Elias to trust instinct, and this moment felt different, even wrong. Curiosity mixed with dread as he edged his jeep closer, heart hammering with every meter. As Elias drew nearer, recognition hit him like a thunderclap. The lion bore scars on its flank, small, dark spots etched into the hide. He knew those marks. They were from a pellet gun. His pellet gun. Memories surged. A day years ago when he'd been out riding his horse alone. A lion had lunged from the brush, claws raking the horse. In panic, Elias fired. The lion fled, wounded, scarred, and etched forever into his memory. Now, here it was again. Recognition flickered in the lion's eyes too. For a moment, rage returned. Lips curled, muscles tensed, claws flexed. Elias froze, knowing this could be his end. Then, as if crushed by its own desperation, the lion sagged back to its knees, raising its paw again. The past mattered less than the present plea. Elias's breath caught as the lion flicked its gaze toward the bushes. He followed the signal. There, lying in the shadows, was a lioness. She groaned softly, her jaw swollen, blood seeping onto the ground. When he moved closer, Elias saw the cause. A jagged shard of metal lodged cruelly near her mouth. A poacher's snare, or perhaps shrapnel from discarded traps. The lion stepped aside, watching him with unblinking intensity. Elias felt the weight of the decision pressing down. Trust a predator? Risk his life to kneel beside its injured mate? His instincts screamed run, but the lioness's labored breaths were louder. Dropping to his knees, Elias unpacked his field kit. With careful, trembling hands, he steadied her head. The lioness twitched, lips curling in pain. Elias whispered calming words, though they were more for himself than her, and pulled. The shard slid free. Blood welled, but relief followed. For one long second, the savannah was silent. Then, the lioness surged up, letting out a deep, guttural roar. The male joined her, a thunderous cry that shook the air and rattled Elias's bones. The sound wasn't fury. It was release. Relief. Something almost primal in its gratitude. Elias stumbled back, his hands stained with her blood, his chest heaving. The two lions locked eyes with him, a strange, silent recognition passing in the space between. Then, as suddenly as they had appeared, they melted into the tall grass. Gone. The silence afterward felt almost heavier than the roar. Elias sat trembling, unable to decide if he had saved them or if they had spared him. Weeks passed. Elias resumed his tours, the incident etched but unspoken. One evening, his vehicle hit a rut and stalled. Tourists grew restless as the jeep sank into the soil. That's when the hyenas appeared. First 2, then 5, then a pack of a dozen. They circled, laughing their bone-chilling whoops, teeth gleaming in the dim light. Cameras lowered. Whispered prayers filled the jeep. Elias gripped his rifle, but one man against a pack? Futile. Fear thickened. The tourists thought they were moments away from the worst. Then the roars came. From the grass, 2 massive shapes emerged, the lion and lioness. They charged with earth-shaking authority, manes and muscles rippling under the last light of dusk. Their roars split the sky as they tore into the pack, scattering the hyenas into the night. The tourists screamed at first, believing their doom had doubled. But then they saw. The lions weren't circling the jeep. They were driving the danger away. Elias stood frozen, rifle useless in his hands. The lion turned, just for a moment, eyes meeting his. In that gaze lay recognition. The past, the present, the debt. Paid in full. Without another sound, the two lions turned, retreating into the grasslands as silently as they had come. The guide and tourists stood in awe, witnesses to a story few would ever believe, but none would ever forget.